Hi everyone and welcome to this tutorial. This was a Facebook Live that I did right back when Facebook was starting, and it got some great reviews and lots of laughs. But it was explaining email marketing using Farmville. So I'd love to hear what you think about it. Leave your comments below and any questions that you may have, and I will certainly get back and answer them. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button at the end. Thanks.
I'm just daring to be different. I have a fantastic group who have been so inspiring during the week, where they've all got out of their comfort zone and gone live. So I thought, right, I need to start doing the same thing. You know, I'm all about this: be yourself, be your own way, and dare to be different. And this is the message I keep getting is to everybody. This is actually a way I do teach, Farmville style, and I think you probably all have thought at this stage that I have totally lost it, and it's not. I actually learned object-oriented programming, Java, with the wonderful, absolutely amazing John Healy over in GMIT, and he was the first person who taught me object-oriented using Farmville, and it was just brilliant. And I suppose because I was trying to think, I always try to simplify things that are really complicated, and if I just stood here talking and trying to explain to you without giving you some visual aids, you'd be lost. As I said, if there's any problems here, I have my phone turned down, so I'm not hearing any sound, but I'm going to keep following the comments on this, so please, if you have comments, let me know, and I'm going to kick this off. The whole idea of the Farmville, taking something that's really, really basic, really almost stupid, it's so simple, because then that stops worrying about that side of the equation, so you can forget about it, and it also makes it a bit of fun. It makes but it's a bit of crack. People actually learn 8 times the information while they are when they're having a bit of fun and laughing. So I think anyone who's joining my things know I love having a bit of crack. Anyway, so we have this whole idea of Farmville. We have our stables, this lovely area over here. I have a fence and I have all my animals. Okay? So the idea I want you to think of is that this is my business over here. I'm going to talk about this in a minute, and this is like the marketplace. So the marketplace is out here, and there's a mixture of all sorts of different people out here. Now, first of all, why would you even need an email list? Because the thing is, we're all relying on social media, and it was a very good point that she had a really good customer, she left an amazing review, but she never liked the page. And I was like, that's what you have an email list for, and that's where you start building your email list. Your social media is a driving point, it's a stage, it's a place where people can meet you. But that social media could go down in the morning, so you have to be really careful that you are gathering the information. Even if you're not using it right now, but you are gathering people's email, because it's one of the oldest and one of the best ways to communicate with people. I'm going to, when I get through all this, tell you ways how to do that. Newsletters are out. They're an absolute waste of time, in my opinion, unless you are something that has real, news headlines, something where this is the latest. Then maybe newsletters will work. For the majority of businesses, I don't think they do. So are you still with me? Excuse me, because I am actually, which you probably all love this, I am now in that, oh my God feeling, so I'm going to keep getting a really dry mouth. So, we're looking at this here. This is our marketplace, okay? And I want to get the right people from, or in this case, animals, from the marketplace over to my Farmville business. And of course, what's it going to be? Hands up, anyone know? Of course it's going to be horses. My team is the war horse. We decided this last night talking. It's the war horse that wins the wars that a lot of people forgot about, and we're living on the spirit, and we're going to show the world what the war horse is all about. So I want to get people from over here over to my Farmville. So that's the idea of when they start with email marketing, is you want to get people into your list over here. Now, a lot of the confusion is people use loads of different names. You can have, CRM, somebody called a content management software yesterday. So have you got a CRM? Have you got this? Have you got that? We're going to start with an email management system, okay? and we want to encourage these, the particular, so I don't know if you can see them fairly well, but these are horses. I have a cow, I have a sheep, a goat. But the thing is that we use something to coax them, put it out here in the middle, to coax people, to encourage them to come through. This is what is the gateway to our business. Okay, so this is the way we're going to get them over to our business. And I have 3 different types here, and I'm going to explain them again in a minute. So we want to put something out there. Now, a lot of people will call this a freemium, a gift even, lead magnets. You know, seriously, in business, why do people have to make it so complicated? You're going to give them something that they like, to encourage them to say, this is what's over in my business. Now, the thing about a carrot, you can see my carrot, that is a little carrot. Is it visible there? The thing about a carrot is, it is putting it out there, but the more specific it is to your business, the more likely you are just to get the horses to cross over. Okay? So that you want to, you don't, while it's okay if a few cows come over, it's okay if a few sheep come over, but the thing is they're going to leave. You want to really, so what you're putting out there. Now, examples of the type of thing that you can put out there is downloadables. We're all getting, PDFs and stuff like that. Another example are webinars. Another example, these are freemiums, gift, lead magnets. They have to be really, really good. They have to reflect the type of business that you do, so that you're encouraging people to come over the other side. You get my drift? Now, I'm not a huge fan of downloads anymore, because the amount of downloads I have downloaded and I never look at them. And it's not just about this carrot out here, okay? And the thing is that the carrot, might get eaten up quite quickly. You want to be able to give them something that will help develop a relationship. So they get to know you, they get to know who you are. My first 2 freemiums that I have for this business, I've done stuff for my therapy business obviously, but for the key business, I have run 2 boot camps, and I am getting an amazing response. So not only did I get people to sign up with their email, so I now have their email list over here, but they've also got to know me as well. So I think that's a huge way. You have to think outside the box a little bit of how you can get people over onto your list. So I'm going to leave the carrot there for a minute. We'll take the carrot down. I'm going to give I'm going to use a bucket instead. Because the bucket, they follow a bucket. Carrot, they can jump, if you ever had a hungry horse, they can get it out of your hand really quickly. We're going to get a bucket to bring them across. Now, this is the line. Basically, it's a form. No matter where it is, whether it's, again, there's all these terms, landing pages, squeeze pages, diddly-dum pages, this page, that page, sign-up page. You want people, it's a form that's going to get their information to cross it over to the other side. Now, every single email marketing software out there, marketing management, I'm going to call it email management software. Now, when I say that, I'm talking about the likes of MailChimp is one of the most common free softwares. There's also Zoho Campaign, and there's Constant Contact, Aweber. I whittled it down because I wanted to start doing automation between GetResponse and ActiveCampaign. I went with ActiveCampaign, which I'll explain about. So these are email. Of course, they do other things, and that's why people often call them CRMs. But ultimately, we're looking at the email side of this. So the thing is, if you just get a form, I don't know how this is showing up. This is the gap in the wall. Now, I grew up with my grandfather standing like a little lonely child in the gap. I had to stop the cattle from getting through the gap. It was really scary, trust me. Where he could be trying to get the horses in. It works, but it's just, we just see that like a gap in the wall, a stone gap in the wall is, well, I suppose I probably maybe misled you there a little bit, but it still works to get them through. It's not very attractive. This is just a basic form setup. There's less information in it, and but you can do it. You can just build a form, and you can put the form somewhere. You can just use the form on its own, and this is just the way of getting them into your over here into your Farmville and into your system. So that's, sorry, I should have my bucket down there. So we're kind of coaxing, so we want to start bringing our horses down here. See, I love playing with these things, really. Allows me to be a child again. Because I mean, seriously, why would you want to, you know, work like you do in an office? I mean, the great thing about working for yourself is that you can do it any way you like. So the next way of where that form is going to be is if you have it on your website. Again, it's a wooden gate. Does the job. We can open it and close it, and we can let the people through. And this form would be more the type that you could place it in your social media. You could put it on your website. You can put it places that you can send people to, and you can gather them that way. Okay, so that, as I said, even if you haven't got a website, you can integrate these forms from MailChimp to any of them. You can put any of them onto your social media. It's harder to direct people down, okay? We're still kind of pushing them down a little bit, but it's a little bit, as I said, at least the form has gone somewhere now. It's not just a plain form anymore. The third option, you will often see the sign-up pages, which some people will call landing pages. Some people, again, it's lead pages, it's fancier. It's the ones that I would use. So if you have signed up for my boot camp, I was able to put a video in there. It looked really, really professional, and it's I pay for that. That's part of the service that I pay for, everything in. Now the thing about this fancier gate is it does, if you think about it, if you go up to a house that has a plain old little gate and everything, it gives you a first impression. Now I'm not saying go out and start getting landing pages straight away, because you can start collecting emails right from the very beginning using a form. As I said, you can put it on a web page or as part of your website, and you can put it on your social media. And the reason I'm saying it's not as effective, it's distracting. There's other distractions around when it's here, when it's at the kind of that stage, and that's why I've kind of put it as a wooden gate. It does the job, but it's very easy before they do. They go, oh look, this is over here. Oh sorry, this is here, and they're gone, and they've forgotten to sign up. So that's why it can be done, but it's not the premium. What is the premium, and it is what everybody is telling you, and I hear people talking about, is when you start using the likes of landing pages, squeeze pages, whatever, fancier landing pages or lead pages. And as I said, anybody who has seen mine, I have quite a basic one done up for this, because I'm only putting together a course in this. That was partly why I decided to go live today. I wanted to see the reaction before I put a load of time and effort in it, and see, do people think I'm absolutely crazy in the way that I teach, and they don't get anything out of it, or whether they find it absolutely hilarious, which is what I'm hoping for, and they're kind of and they're able to follow. That's what I'm hoping for, but I'll find out after this video. So these are the ways that we can, through yours, is to get them onto your lists. So you will start within, as I said, whether it's MailChimp. I have kind of what they would call an entry level, more type, mid-range type of active campaign, or you're going up to the likes of the iContact and the Infusionsoft. You'd want to be big business for that. They are very, very expensive systems. And the more, obviously, the more the complicated they are, the more helpful they are with your business. Now the thing, we'll imagine we've got them through one of these, and you have them on your email list over here. The thing is, you don't want to make people immune to getting an email from you. But when you have them on your list, okay, and I'll go back to different ways here again, but I want to kind of keep the flow. We have them on our list. You want to keep them there. You want these to become customers. And you need to be sending them. This is where I start sending my downloads, over here. Like I sent out one there the last day. It was 10 steps, because I've all people saying I don't have enough time. I'm really struggling, you know, and that I can't seem to fit time in. I did a live on it. It went over 2 days. It went really, really well. There were 10 really good points. And I started getting really good feedback, and people saying, wow, you know, it's something as simple as turning off your notifications made life so easy. So I thought, okay, yeah, you know, this was getting good response. So I bundled it up. I also was using it because I gave it to people that I had met at the event. So I wanted something that I could offer them as well. If they, you know, this is something I have sent already to my wonderful horsey people over here, my war horse team. And so I gave them something and I said, look, here's a little gift. It's ways that can help you save time. Now, if I had used that same gift over this side, I could get loads and loads and, sorry, I'm probably offline again. I could get loads and loads of people who weren't necessarily business people. Everybody wants to have extra time. But, you know, so I offered to them, but if I had offered this out as the freemium out here, I would end up getting people over onto my list that weren't necessarily interested in what I do. By using the likes of boot camps, you know, Facebook boot camps for free, I've been able to help people technically. We have started to develop a relationship with one another. We've actually, we've all started to become really good friends. And the thing is that I then have the testimonials from that I can add to products and services that I am doing down the road. If I had just sent them a downloadable, now I actually, because I sent it to people over here that were very interested, I got a lot of people replying back and saying, thank you. If I had done it out this side of the fence, I have no idea whether people ever read it or what they thought of it. Do you get what I'm saying? So, sorry, water again, I'm going to run out. So anyway, are you kind of getting the idea of this? Is this making a little sense to where you need to go with things and how you could maybe look at it yourself? Just getting emails onto your list anymore is a waste of time, in my opinion. You have to think of ways, how can I encourage this person to get to know me, so that they know that we can start to develop that business relationship. You know that, and often in cases it can be almost like a business. You know, I maybe leave the business out and becomes a friendship. Because I would prefer to have 10 top bred quality horses over here than every horse under the sun that's out there. They're all still horses, they're all still business people, but they're not interested. I want my war horse team member over here. I want the top. I want the ones that are willing to put in the hard work, the ones that are willing to do it. And the boot camps, I can help motivate people that they get to know me, so they know who I am, that I know that they have interacted over here. Now, other brilliant ways for doing this are webinars. Now, webinars, you can use Zoom for 40 minutes for free. What I dislike about Zoom is that you have to download and set it up on the user side. I was very lucky. Now it's not software. It has been a bit glitchy lately. It messed up the last time I had it. Was Webinar Ninja, but I managed to get it a one-time offer. So I paid one-time amount, and I never have to pay for it again. A lot of GoToWebinar. God, why can't I think of these? I'm not sure if Google Hangouts, but I think with live video, I think webinar software is going to change. So I wouldn't say I would be slow to get monthly paying webinar software. Try and keep your webinars, you know, when you're starting out to, as I said, Zoom, but talk people through it. Do a video to say, look, you know, I'm doing this webinar, and show them this is what I need you to do on your side in order to join the webinar, so that they're not doing it last minute. If they've used Zoom before, they'll know exactly what you're talking about, but it can stop people. But again, there's that engagement. So it's like a Skype call. It's no different to the live. People are able to, now with a lot of people, I haven't actually used Zoom myself yet. That's another great way to start collecting emails, because they have to sign up for it. They don't get the details unless they sign up for it. And you can have it as your small line at the bottom is that you're receiving this email because you signed up for one of my webinars, or for one of my Facebook boot camps, or whatever it is. So that's how you start getting people across. And I would say really start to look at something that is absolutely irresistible. Like I know I have a lot of ladies in my group that can sell things. It could be, I would have your exclusive offers, you know, maybe once they're all already over here on the likes of Zoom, where you're collecting your emails as well. You know, and so there's that type of you know, where you're using one aspect of, and it has to be great value. I mean, there's a lot of competition out this side. Oh, hang on, I'm going to put all my horses up here. I'm going to put my horses in here because we've got them over the fence, haven't we? See, I have all these new horses. I just wanted to play with stickers, for God's sake. Anyway, so that's kind of the idea, is that you're getting them over. As I said, so they're the kind of tools that you can use to look at is website. What I do, I buy emails that are easy to remember. It's a little bit easier than people remembering lots of different things. If you remember, for my Facebook, it was startgoinglive.com. So that's why it can be handy to have several domains on that you can use. And then all you do is you simply forward them to whatever, because it's like anything, when they give you a link for your landing page or your form or whatever, it's always this big long thing that you can never remember. That's the idea. Over here, and just be very aware if you're in multi-level marketing. That's, you know, the Forever Living, those type of products. MailChimp actually has had to put it in their terms and conditions that they no longer allow them to use the free software. And it's because they were spamming people. And that's the thing, is never, to me, spam, people think, oh, you know, spam is the stuff that ends up in the junk mail. Spam is stuff that people don't want. So if you're sending stuff either here, well, here isn't as important, but over here, if you're sending out email sequences, and you know, as I said, this really is just to give you an idea of an overview. But if you're sending them, like, you know, a countdown to a product launch or something like that, it has to be interesting. If you start talking products straight away, what you could do is break it down and say, you know, here's a snippet, here's a snippet, here's a snippet, and if you don't know how to do them, this is going to save you. If you're selling products, you know, have, you know, exclusive to my, you know, personal list is this validation code of, you know, that's available for 24 hours. So make it very important, very VIP over here, because if Gmail, if you're not if people aren't opening your email, no matter how good they are, they will start going into the spam. That's a Gmail part of their algorithm and the way they work. Another thing I love, I use Active Campaign, as I mentioned. I looked across a load of these. The reason I chose it over GetResponse did have great features in that it did include landing pages. It did include our webinar software. But what it didn't do is it doesn't take account of duplicate emails. So if I had one of you sign up to me 3 times, I would be counting, or with GetResponse, it'll count it 3 times as a subscriber. Whereas with Active Campaign, you can sign up to me 100 times if you like, because I'm just that brilliant and I'm just so fantastic. You can sign up to 100 of my things if you like, if I ever get to that many, and it'll still count you as one person, provided you've used the same email. Okay, so I think I'll leave it at that. As I said, it probably is getting a little bit heavy. As I said, I am just trying to get this idea of overview of what you need out of, why you need an email. As I said, it's basically through a form of some description, whether it's a basic form, a form on a web page or within your social media, or a fancy landing page that gets them over to your list. When you're on your list, then you can do things in certain ways, where you can start to what they call list segment, and you know, using tags and stuff like that, that will allow you then to start creating automation. And automation, then email automation, is where the CRM starts to come in, which is customer relations management, or management software. And what that will do will tell you, based on that, what stage, a CRM will tell you at what stage your customer journey. So if I brought a foal over here, for example, it may be a top quality foal, but I need to give it time to get, so that before it's old enough to start competing on it. I could have a superb 4-year-old horse, but if my product is aimed at Grand Prix, I have to give it time to get there. So that's the whole idea of a customer relationship management model, shall we say, is that it allows you to know at what stage your customer is. Because I see so many people, if somebody says no, they're like, right, bye-bye. And I was like, but it was a brilliant phone. It was going to be the best one ever. Why didn't I just give it a bit of time to develop? So that's what CRMs will allow you to do. Most email management software will either have a CRM, Active Campaign actually does have its own CRM, or they integrate into a CRM. Example, Salesforce is a CRM, or they may have their own. So that's just giving you a little gist of it, of where, as I said, I've heard content management software, but that's what, when somebody asks you, and this is what happened to me yesterday, and they asked me, what content management software do I use? Now, techie person here, I'm thinking of repositories, document repositories or code repositories, SVN, that type, CVS type of stuff. That's what I would kind of think, or SharePoint, whatever. That's what I consider to be a content management. Don't be afraid. Everybody calls them different things, and just say, well, what's your, just so we're on the same page. Don't make it feel like, oh my God, am I stupid? I don't know it here. I just said, look, let me know what's your idea of one, so that we're both on the same page. Because I said this is an area different people call different things. And the minute she mentioned get response, I was like, yeah. And I use Active Campaign, and they're actually very much on a par. I told you the reasons why I chose one over the other, and then it was fine. So if somebody, I've heard somebody else talk about, a lot of businesses don't have a CRM. A lot of businesses don't need a CRM. They need email management software. It doesn't necessarily have to have a CRM. So I hope you found that helpful. I hope it wasn't brain overload. It's trying to just give an idea and an overview of email marketing and ways that you can start to do it. I never mentioned how to link it together. Maybe I think that might be better for another day. And I leave you on that note. Please look at the spamming, the CAN spam laws, the data protection laws within within Ireland or wherever you're watching this from, because there's certain things you need to have in place. And that's another thing I love about Active Campaign. It will not let me send. It'll tell me why this is liable to be marked as spam before I ever send my email out, and I love that. Hope you enjoyed this.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that. It was my crazy style of teaching, and as I said, I always tried to make learning fun. A bit of an abrupt end because I was just chopping out the bits that weren't relevant. It was a Facebook Live. Leave any comments below. I'd love to hear what you thought of it. If you've any other questions of stuff you'd like covered, leave them below as well. And again, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button so you get to hear of all the other videos that I'm going to share. Thanks very much, and talk to you soon. Bye.